asked you guys yesterday on Instagram to send me questions about problems that you need some advice with. Okay, I am currently filming in my balcony. I don't know if you can hear me, but somehow I am basically well above ground level, but anything that happens downstairs you can hear. So I'm very sorry about the noise. There's gonna be some wind because it's a windy day, but you know, I just need some air, some sun, and yeah, we're gonna do this. Hopefully I can do this in one take. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. The next video, I'm not sure which one is gonna go up first, but one of them is a study labs video, and then this one. I was kind of going for a vibe of kind of like a sleepover vibe, but like you're in my balcony and it's noisy outside and it's sunlight. Anyway, I will probably do these videos more often, but indoors, but I just needed like a change of scene. So let's get started. Your questions yesterday, thank you for those of you who participated. Let's see. Oh, okay. Questions. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, oh yeah. So let me see. I wanted to say, basically, I wanted this to be like kind of just not really focused too much on school-related stuff. So if you have any problems, any advice that you need, I am by no means an expert, but I do have, you know, some wisdom to share with people. Okay, let's get started. The first question is, hey girl, I love your channel, you're killing it. Oh my god, the wind, I should probably go inside, but no, we're gonna pull through. Hey girl, I love your channel. My question is, basically my best friend in school is so negative, and I get stressed with school, but we actually perform pretty good, all things considered. It's just that I'm really susceptible to her negative talks about school and grades. I don't mind supporting her and such, but it's so draining for me. What's your advice on how to deal with my friend? I don't want to cut her out, but I'm so drained and I'm not sure what to do. Thank you. Okay, so this is a really good question. A lot of us have friends in our circle that we know are kind of like hype men for stress. Okay, it's part of the culture sometimes. I picked that up, like I realized that here, that there is some culture of constantly stressing, saying things like you're gonna fail, there's no time to do anything, blah blah blah. All of these things may be true, but some people exaggerate a little bit. So tell your friend, just tell her, if you're good friends, you're comfortable with each other, just tell her like, hey girl, I can't handle the stress of talking about school and exams and stuff. Like, it's really draining on me. So just communicate that to her, because stress will get to you. Because the things they're saying are not necessarily unfounded, because it's true, we don't always have time to study. Things can be very stressful, stuff like that. But we don't need the added, you know, incentive of constant stress all the time. So just tell her that you're just not able to handle it and you don't want to talk about it. If you find it useful, you can try to just gear the conversation to a different direction when you feel that that's where it's headed. If you feel like she's going to start talking about things, and like you said, it's unfounded because you guys both perform really well, just like take the conversation elsewhere. If she's going to talk about stuff, tell her something else, like, hey girl, what are you going to do this weekend? You want to hang out sometime? Something like that. Take the conversation elsewhere, but do make sure that you tell her, because a lot of times it's a cultural thing of being a medical student to constantly stress and verbalize that. And if you can't handle it, you have every right to say, I need to block this out. My own personal experience with it is quite odd, because when I was in third year, I was associating with a group of people who were constantly stressing all the time. And it got to the point where I had been convinced after my exams that I had failed all 4 subjects, like I had failed them. And I truly felt this in my bones, because every time all we were talking about was, oh my god, this is terrible. Oh, did you answer this question? No, it's wrong. It was like, really, it just gets to your head because you're stressed anyway. So just for me, it got to the point where I was so convinced, and I had to travel that summer, so I took all of my books with me and expecting that I would fail. And the funny thing is, none of us failed. We all did okay, and it just like, that was like a wake-up call for me, like, no, this is not the crowd for me. So talk to your friend, tell her what you can and can't handle, try to guide the conversation elsewhere, but if it's getting to a point that it's draining you and affecting you, you do have a right to put your foot down and say that you don't want this kind of behavior in your life. So that's what I would do if I was in your place. The next question is, hey there, I'm a third-year student and I am not confident with my English. Can you give some suggestions on how to improve? Okay, so if English is not your first language, English is my first language. If English is not your first language, I would recommend listening and talking. Okay, that is the best way. So watch films, listen to shows, to hear how it sounds, okay? And don't be frustrated because people have accents and stuff like that. Not everyone's accent is the same. Your idea of what perfect English is non-existent, really. But just to get a feel of the vibe, and listen to the words and how they come out to help improve your accent. The other thing I suggest is reading. If you dedicate like half an hour a day to read, but read out loud so you can hear your own voice and see where you need to practice, that might really help you. Yeah, it's fine. Like, you'll find like you'll improve very, very quickly actually if you just listen and talk. It's getting really windy and I hope it's not messing up the video too much. The next question is, hey, I am not sure I wanted medicine. I think I did it to make my parents happy and I can't find my place or get in the vibe of being a doctor. Is there something wrong with me and should I quit or do something else? Okay, so this is something that a lot of us feel. Now wait for the wind to die down. This is something that a lot of us feel. Basically, I wouldn't recommend you, look, there's two things. Either you're not vibing with being a doctor or a medical student, or you are just certain that this is not something you want, okay? If it is clear cut for you and you know that you have something else, another passion, another dream, that's one situation. But if you're just like not feeling it, none of us are feeling it, okay? Basically, yeah, like, you have to make the distinction that what you feel is very, very unique to where you are at this point in place in time. So really, like, if you are feeling frustrated, like this isn't it, this isn't how it is on Grey's Anatomy, then realize that, for example, it might be just as simple as going to a different place. It's not necessarily going to a different career, if that makes sense. Like, your life as a student is not going to be your life as when you take on your career, for example. So something that really helped me, and it's always been my sister's advice, so thanks to her for that, was like, you know, don't get frustrated, don't be upset that you're not vibing with the place, because what you feel is very specific to a certain place in time. It's going to be different it's a different feeling for everyone. You might as well go to a different college and you might even find that that's even better for you, or to a different country, or for example. So essentially what it means is not to take your feelings as a universal status quo for how something feels, or the vibe that it has. For example, if you find that you have a specialty that you like and you attend your classes and you don't like it, okay, and you hate it. I've had so many times where it's like, oh my god, I just can't, because I hated it. I hated the subject, I hated the books, I hated blah blah blah. And then it's just like, okay, and then I asked my sister and she's like, okay, you know what you're feeling right now, it's not the same as if you actually started working the specialty, because you have no idea what this experience is like, and it's different when you are in a different hospital or if you went to a different country and blah blah blah. So just recognizing that the scope of how you view this decision is purely based on your own experience, your sensory perception of what's happening, kind of liberates you to the opportunity or the idea that it actually might be much better somewhere else. So I'm not sure how what I'm saying is even helping you. But it's just like, for me, it was just very liberating. It's like, okay, I'm not very frustrated because it's like, okay, I don't like the subject, but maybe if you started working and the specialty, it might be better. If I went to a different hospital, it might be better. If you went to a different country, it might be better. So for me to figure out what the vibe is, okay, this actually really helped me. This might actually help you, is to watch other YouTubers' videos who vlog, which is actually the reason I started this channel, because I wanted to find something to motivate me and other people here in particular, because I didn't find that, I found it was very lacking. Whereas I could just go online and there's really nice channels like the Strive to Fit, Brittany Way, Black Girl White Coat, like these channels, I just open them up and it's just like, you know, watching medicine through their view when they're vlogging, and just seeing how it is in other schools and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, I know why I wanted to be here in the first place. I might not have everything that I'm looking for here, but that feeling, that vibe I'm looking for, okay, it's there, it's out there. It might not be with me right now, but I'm gonna try to get to it. So that's my best advice for you. If you're just like an issue of feeling and vibing and you're not getting it, try out these other channels. That was my main motivation for making this channel, is to help more Middle Eastern, Arab like students kind of just get a vibe or a feel of what something else is like, because I didn't have that for myself. I needed to find the good in everything, and that's what I'm trying to do through this channel. So check out those other channels. I will link them in the description. If they help you and you feel like, oh my god, that's what I'm looking for. For me, like, I just get such a boost of motivation when watching their videos, and it's just like, okay, I know why I wanted to get into med school. I know why I want this career. It's just that right now the setting, the vibe isn't right, but at least I have my foot in the ground regarding the fact that this is something I want. Okay, maybe not how I wanted it to go or how it played out, but at least I'm a little bit comfortable now. So I will link their videos in the description below, and I hope that helps you.